sake ba ta abokin birni shi gano mun Katsinawa na garba dare mai ban tsoro na garba ma kai na lamarin tunau harshen nasara wanda da bakon tilas wanda da maganin bayan kaɓa koro da yamma koro na gabas bayan giwa sai balbaje ramar giwa kunyar daji gaban wani karkarar wani muhammad mazajin musamman.
The origin of Katsina kinship could be traced to Durbawa, who lived at Durb Itakwesheye, some 45 kilometers from the present Katsina. The inhabitants, who are giant hunters and worshippers of idols and sun, founded the Durbawa dynasty that ruled the area for hundreds of years. Katsina at that time has boundary towns such as Maradi, Kasawa, Age, Gazawa, Chatwa in the north, and Gobir, Moriki, Anka, Kauranmata, Makara in the west. In its southern border were Sabwa, Binangwari, and Hawaii, while in the east were Daura, Gwiwa, and Kazori, among others. Traditions had it that the origin of the Durbawa dynasty was terminated by Kumail, the grandchild of Bayezid, who conquered them and moved the capital to the present Katsina. Kumail was the most acclaimed first ruler of Katsina and was said to have ruled the land around 993 AD. Kumail dynasty has 7 rulers, namely Kumail, Rumba, Bataretari, Koro, Jannarata, Yankatsari, and Jibdayaki Sanau. Kumail dynasty ruled Katsina up to 1348 AD, when the kingship was seized by Muhammad Koro after a fierce wrestling contest that saw the slaughtering of the last ruler of the dynasty, Jibdayaki Sanau. It was generally believed that a wrestling contest was the mode of succession to the Katsina throne during that period. Muhammad Koro, the founder of Koro dynasty, was of the Wangarawa clan and stayed in Safe before arriving in Katsina, and was the first Muslim ruler of Katsina. It was during his reign that the present Emir's palace was built in 1348, and that is why it is still referred to as Gidan Koro. Furthermore, Islamic religion was believed to have been strengthened in Katsina in his era. Several Islamic scholars from the Maghrib came to Katsina and continued with the propagation of Islam. Among them was Sheikh Al-Magili, who initiated the construction of Gobaro Mosque that served as the center of Islamic learning then. Renowned Islamic scholars such as Walid Takum, Walid Marna, and Walid Masani contributed greatly to the development of Islam during the reign of Koro dynasty. The tombs of Walid Marna and Walid Takum are the 2 biggest cemeteries in Katsina. The fortress of Katsina was also believed to have been built during the reign of the dynasty. About 30 emirs ruled Katsina from the reign of Muhammad Koro to the time of Fulani jihadists assumed the control of the kingship. They were led by Malam Umar and Dallaji. They ousted the king of Habib dynasty Magajan Haladu in 1806 AD and founded the Dallazawa dynasty that ruled Katsina up to 1906. The coming of the jihadists to the throne saw Malam Magajan Haladu and his people migrating to Maradi in the present Niger Republic and established a ruling house whose title bears Sarkin Katsina Maradi. The colonialists who came to Katsina in 1903 later deposed the then king, Sarki Abubakar, the seventh ruler of Dallazawa dynasty in 1905 and installed Sarki Malam Yero, who was also deposed by the British in 1906 and replaced by Durbi Muhammad Deko. The appointment of Durbi Muhammad Deko in 1906 marked the beginning of the Sulubawa dynasty. Born in 1865, Sarki Muhammad Deko, the son of Durbi Gedado, was a fearless hunter, a great warrior who befriended famous warriors such as Kauranmata and Anwere Gwenki Shabara, and despite indolence and above all, a very rich merchant who participated in the famous trans-Saharan trade.
turawa wata sarauta kaɗin suka mace da kuma zama zakara da sarakunan arewa a lokaci ko kuma sarakunan ƙasar a lokaci.
Before his appointment of the emir in 1906, he held the title of Karshi village head, Ambarhin and Durbi, both district head titles. While he was the Durbi Katsina district head of Mani, Sarki Abubakar made him the liaison officer between the colonialists and the emirates due to his experience in socialization with different types of people. It was through such interaction the British noticed the leadership qualities in him and consequently installed him as the emir after Sarki Malayero was deposed. The reign of Sarki Muhammad Deko was marked by a series of transformations in the emirate that made him to be the most inviolable area in Old House land. His honesty and just leadership, and above all, his foresight towards the development of his people and the area at large, have placed Katsina above its contemporaries during his reign. Sarki Deko's desire to the educational development of his domain made him to encourage the enrollment of people within his household and household of his lieutenants to Danhausa School at Kano in 1912 and the subsequent establishment of Crack School in Katsina. The idea is to show the people who refuse to send their children for Western education that there was nothing wrong with such type of education. Sarki Deko similarly saw to the establishment of the famous Katsina College in 1921, which was commissioned in 1922. The school produced people who later ruled Nigeria. Among them are Sir Ahmadu Bello Sardauna, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Sir Kashim Ibrahim, and Isa Keita, among others. Health is paramount to humanity. Here also, Emir Muhammad Dikko established the School of Pharmacy in 1927, which was also called medical class. The school produced the first set of northern pharmacists. He also introduced and encouraged community health in 1919 and the first veterinary hospital in northern Nigeria in 1919. In the area of administration, Sarki Muhammad Dikko introduced the first treasury and salary scheme to native authority workers in 1907, as well as native police and a modern prison in 1918. He also saw to the independence of Katsina by pursuing its separation from Zaria province, thereby having Katsina province and establishing its central office in 1937. On the political structures of the emirate, Sarki Muhammad Dikko inherited 16 district heads, which include Durbi, Taura, Marusa, Enaka, Sarkin Sulubawa, Galadima, Kankia, Sarkin Musawa, Sarkin Maska, Kogon Faskari, Basari, Bindawa, Engawa, Mashi, Dankama, and Endoto of Safi. The first 6 were the kingmakers. The founder of Sulubawa dynasty also constructed the central mosque, popularly called Masallachin Dutse, with his personal resources in 1935. Sarki Muhammad Dikko was the first emir to visit England in 1921, where he received the award of Knight of British Empire, KBE, from King George V. He was also the first emir to travel to Mecca for pilgrimage in 1921 and repeated similar visits in 1932 when he went alongside Sarkin Kano, Alhaji Abdullahi Bayero. The game of polo, which has now become the trademark of the dynasty, was brought to Katsina by Sarki Dikko when he returned from a trip to England in 1921. Furthermore, the entourage of Sarki Muhammad Dikko came first at the Daba stage at Kano in 1925 to welcome Prince Edward VII of England. Sarki Muhammad Dikko also pioneered the establishment of relief programs following the famine of 1913. The program greatly helped in cushioning the hardship experienced during the subsequent Kwana famine between 1926 and 1927 and Erbalange famine between 1942 and 1943. The courageous emir died on the 29th of January 1944 and was succeeded by his son, Alhaji Usman Nabog. Alhaji Usman Nagogo succeeded his father as the second emir in the Sulubawa dynasty. Born in 1905, Alhaji Usman Nagogo attended Katsina Elementary School and Katsina Middle School. Of all the children of Sarki Muhammad Dikko, the late emir Usman Nagogo was said to have been the closest to him. Tradition had it that it was the habit of the late emir Muhammad Dikko to send his children to his lieutenants for upbringing. But when Usman Nagogo was sent to the house of Baraya Batase, he refused to stay and instead preferred to be with his senior sister called Gogo, who resided in the emir's palace, hence his nickname Nagogo. Being always in the company of Gogo made him to relate closely to his father more than his elder and younger brothers. It was such closeness that gave him the opportunity to accompany his father to England and Mecca in 1921. Alhaji Usman Nagogo attended the police native course at Kaduna in 1928 and was later appointed the head of native police in 1929. He was also a very keen sportsman and highest handicap polo player who held +7 handicap in Nigeria. Alhaji Isa Usman Nagogo was appointed the Magajin Garin Katsina in 1937, the position he held up to the 10th of March 1944 when he was turbaned as Emir of Katsina following the demise of his father. The first major engagement of Sir Usman Nagogo as the Emir of Katsina, which proved his brevity, was the famous visit to West African frontier forces fighting during the Second World War in 1944 to boost the morale of the West African forces who were fighting as British soldiers. Alhaji Sir Usman Nagogo was among the few emirs that participated in the struggle for Nigeria's independence. He attended various conferences held at London, Lagos, Ibadan and Kaduna in pursuance of the independence. In 1952, he was appointed federal minister without portfolio and was also a regional minister without portfolio. But the most notable among them was the Daba stage at Kaduna in 1956 to welcome Queen Elizabeth II. In the area of administration of the emirate, Sarki Usman Nagogo pursued the administrative structures set up by his late father. He, however, introduced the position of departmental councillors in the native authority, where members become the instrument of decision-making. In 1972, 4 area councils were introduced in Katsina province, namely Katsina, Daura, Fontua, and Dutsinma, and later in 1974, Malamfashi and Mani area councils were created. The 1976 local government reforms led to the creation of additional area councils in Kankia, thus bringing the number of the area councils in the province to 7. The reform usurped from the traditional administration the control of police, prison service, and judiciary to the federal government. In the field of education, Sir Usman Nagogo, like his predecessor, vigorously pursued the development of education in the province. He encouraged the enrollment of Katsinawa into Western education. New schools such as Arabic Teachers College, Provincial Secondary School, Katsina Teachers College, and Women Teachers College were opened in Katsina. Similar schools were opened at Mani, Malamfashi, Fontua, Dutsinma, and Tora.
Da mu da Katsina uwa da uba ɗaya muke. Mun ɗauki Katsinawa su ne iyayen gidanmu, su ne abokan arzikanmu, akwai aurataka iri daban-daban, su ne abokan hulɗar mu ta arziki, su ne abokan kasuwanci da 'yan kasuwanmu, su ne abokan ta boko da yan boko mu duk wani bada wuri na tunkafa da wani bada da tunkafa da bada wuri.
During his reign, the manpower capability of Katsinawa in the northern region civil service and that of the federal government was second to none. Besides this, the province recorded the highest number of ministerial appointments, more than any other province in the north. A total of 6 ministers were appointed in the First Republic. 2 of them, Alhaji Ladambaki and Alhaji Musa Eradua, were federal ministers, while Alhaji Muhammad Bashir, Sarkin Maska Shehu, Alhaji Isa Keita and Justice Muhammad Nasir were regional ministers.
Lokacin shi Usman Abu, ai sannan ma ne aka yi development. Kasan ya kama sarauta ne don bayan waya yakin ya rituwa wannan mutum. To sannan kuma wani development sannan ne ya tashi.
Whatever one can point at today as development of Katsina Emirates, former Katsina province, and perhaps by extension present-day Katsina state, must have been an achievement recorded during the reign of either Muhammad Diko, the progenitor of the Diko dynasty, Sulaba dynasty, or his son, successor son, Alhaji Sir Usman Nagogo, or his successor son, Alhaji Muhammad Kabir, and now the successor son of Muhammad Kabir, Alhaji Abdul Kabir.
There has been a lot of historical evolutions of progress and development through all these years you have mentioned. For all the period that the Suluk dynasty has held forth, I think they have done their very best.
By and large, Sir Usman Nagogo will always be remembered as the emir who passed the test of time. His reign witnessed the administration of the colonialist, the struggle for independence, the First Republic, the first military rule, and the subsequent regimes up to the second civilian rule in the country. He was the Chairman Council of Chiefs in the North Central State, President Nigerian Aid Group of Jamaatul Nasr al-Islam, a holder of several awards, and above all, one of the most respected emirs of his time. He died on Wednesday the 11th of March 1981 after ruling justly according to Islamic injunctions.
yin gaskiya ga dukkan al'amuran rayuwar shi, mutum ne wanda ke son ya taimaki mutum mai kwazo.
Sarkin Katsina Usman Nagogo mutum ne mai son mutum, mai fasaha, mai kokari, wanda ba shi da ganin gari da duk abin da ya tashi.
Whereas you, Alhaji Muhammad Kabir Usman, have been sworn to obey the authority of the government of Kaduna State of Nigeria, now I, the governor of Kaduna State of Nigeria, on the recommendation of the traditional kingmakers, do hereby think it proper to recognize you as the emir of Katsina and of a first-class status.
Born in 1928, Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman is a son to Alhaji Sir Usman Nagogo and grandson to Sarki Muhammad Diko. He attended elementary and middle schools, where he was a head boy in the latter in 1945. Alhaji Muhammad Kabir Usman joined the Native Authority Police, Danduka, and rose to the rank of its chief Wakil in Duka in 1957, and was a one-time parliamentary secretary to Alhaji Sir Ahmad Bello, Sardauna of Sokoto. Muhammad Kabir was turbaned as Magajingari in 1965 and held this position after 1981 when he was turbaned as Emir of Katsina. His first-class Emir staff of office was given to him in 1982. The first achievement of Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman was the turbaning of 5 district heads who were vacant then. He also laid the foundation stone and continued the building expansion of Masallacin Dukku, Katsina Center Mosque, currently the biggest mosque in Katsina.
Kuma duk zaman shi masarar da sarki wato duk abin da an yi mara kyau to wallahi da shi bane sai dai wasu masu ba da shawara ko wasu ba abin da an sani shi amma ainihin gaskiya shi wallahi ta zai wata ɗaurin mutum sarki da shi
shi mutum ne mai son jama'a mai tausayin talakawa mai kashe kuɗi shi da kanshi shi taimaki talakawa.
Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman was conferred with a CFR award by President Umaru Yar'Adua in 2008. He was appointed as Chancellor to Universities of Yola, Benin and Ile-Ife, the latter two conferred on him LLD awards. Sarki Muhammad Kabir also increased the number of district heads from 21 to 44. He ruled during the reign of 14 governors, including military. He held a lifetime chairman of the Polo Club with +5 handicap. Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman wrote the Holy Quran with his own hand after committing it to memory. He was also versed in Islamic knowledge. This earned him the slogan, Limamun Sarakuna Dan Shehu.
Na sani hayye sarki har Allah ya mashi wa'adi babu wani mutum wanda zai zo ya ce ya yi mashi zalunci naira ɗaya tun sadda ya sarki hasar da Allah ya mashi wa'adi a cikin wannan shekaru 27 da yana sarki.
Na farko dai suna da haƙuri ƙwarai daga ciki yana da haƙuri ba ƙaramin haƙuri ba da dangana da abin da kake gani ga wannan lokacin mutum yana da haƙuri sai mu tafi ko wurin tukuwa ko wurin wani ko wani gari in muka ce duk aka kama muka shi hotel wallahi sai ce mun ce sai ka zaɓar kana wallahi shi fa zai biya.
The land emir devoted his life to the Islamic religion. Thus, he saw to the building of many Islamic schools and mosques. Sarki Muhammad Kabir Usman headed Jamaatul Nasr al-Islam during his life. Alhaji Muhammad Kabir Usman was a forerunner in the move for the establishment of the Katsina Islamic University, the first Islamic university in Nigeria. He also saw to the establishment of more primary, post-primary and tertiary institutions in the Emirates. Prominent among the tertiary institutions are Hassan Usman Katsina Polytechnic, Isa Keita College of Education Dusinma, Federal College of Education Katsina, and School of Basic and Remedial Studies Funtua, and Katsina State University.
People have been describing his personality through the nickname of Limamin Sarakuna Danshi. To be a Liman means a leader, a religious leader. The late Emir was not a traditional ruler per se. He was actually a religious leader.
I feel challenged to say in a sentence the sort of person the late Emir was. I think he was I was simply say he was a humble, patient and knowledgeable person. The Katsina Palace was the most democratic palace. It's one palace where you go and talk and share jokes with the Emir. There are some other places where however much you try, you are not going to elicit a response from the Emir. That shows you the humility.
Concerned with the problem of the health sector, Imam Muhammad Kabir funded the construction of an equipped amenity ward at the Katsina Federal Medical Center. More so, Imam Muhammad Kabir Usman participated in the establishment and survival of three important foundations, Gidonia, namely Katsina State Development Fund, Gidonia Jara Katsina, Katsina State Education Trust Fund, Gidonia Rai Ilimi Jara Katsina, and the Fund for the Preservation of Graveyards in Katsina Emirate, Gidonia Rai Makabartun Masarautar Katsina. He was also known as an expert in planning Daba. In fact, he was the marshal and brain behind all Daba states during his late father's reign.
Bai taɓa ɗaukar shi shugaba ne wanda zai ce in ya ce ai kaza a alali haka ba da ba. Idan yanzu nan sarkin Katsina Kabir ya fito da niyyar cewa za yi kaza za yi kaza. Idan ya hito bai da ƙwaron baka sai ya ce mamu ƙaura kunji.
Katsina got its impact during his emirship, as remarkable developments were recorded in all aspects: roads, electrification, schools, airport, potable water, and healthcare services. Socio-economically also, Katsina got some transformation. His reign brought Katsina Central Market and Jibia Border Market. To enhance further development, Sarki Muhammad Kabir Usman appointed seasoned civil servants to serve as councillors and district heads. Examples of such appointments are that of President Umar Musa Eradua as Matawali, Alhaji Ibrahim Kumasi, former Inspector General of Police as Sardona, Dr. Sani Abubakar Lega as Waziri, Justice Maman Nasir, former President Court of Appeal as Galadima and District Head of Malamfashi, Ambassador Zakar Ibrahim as Talba, Alhaji Ahmadu Kurfi, former Federal Permanent Secretary and Secretary Fedeco as Maradi and District Head of Kurfi, Alhaji Lamis Shehu Diko, Managing Director, former Intercity Bank as Ajian Katsina, Abubakar Lawal Eradua, Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation as Jakada, Aminu Bello Masari, former Speaker, House of Representatives as Dalatun Katsina, among many others. The aim is to explore and share their vast experience and expertise in their respective fields of endeavor for the benefit of the entire emirate.
Sarki ne mai adalci, sarki ne mai gaskiya, sarki ne mara girman kai, sarki ne malami, sarki ne mai sauƙin kai, sarki ne mai son talakawansa, sarki ne mai son zaman lafiya.
To assess a decent man, an honorable man, and a gentleman, and an emir and a father of God, in the person of late Dr. Muhammad is both a difficult task and a simple one. It's difficult because for all purposes the late emir touched my life in so many ways that he has touched the lives of a lot of people.
Late Sarkin Katsina Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman is admired by people for his simplicity and humble life. He always exhorts people to fear Allah and to remember that they will account for their actions, to live in peace, and to uphold the 5 daily prayers in congregation and observe other Islamic acts.
kada mutum kira mu zama uwa ɗaya uba ɗaya wannan kalma la ilaha illallah muhammadu rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa sallam ita ce igiyar da ubangiji ke cewa mu rike ta kan a wani lokaci ma manzo Allah na cewa ku sa baki ku rike ku tattaki in ba ku hankali ba za a raba ku da imanin duniya ba wani zama Allah bai yi ko ba da mu lahira ya yi domin ina manzanni ina sahabbai
Saturday, the 1st of Rabiul Awal 1429 AH, equivalent to 23rd February 2008, came as a great shock to the people of Katsina State and beyond. The death of Sarki Muhammad Kabir Usman was announced. Allahu Akbar.
Magana addini ba sai na ci kunyi ba. Duk wanda ya tare da shi idan baka san Allah baka san Annabi to duk duniya ba wanda zai sa mu aka san su.
Abdul Mumin Kabir Usman is the eldest male child of late Emir Muhammad Kabir Usman. He is the 50th Emir of Katsina, the 4th in the Silabur ruling dynasty, and the 11th Fulani ruler for the famous Katsina Emirates. A descendant of Dikko, a grandchild of Sir Usman Nabogo, was born in January 1956 in Katsina to the late Emir Muhammad Kabir Usman. After the usual early Quranic education, Abdul Mumin started his formal Western education at Kayola Primary School, Katsina, in January 1959. With the completion of his primary education in 1964, the new Emir proceeded to Provincial Day Secondary School, Katsina, in January 1965 and graduated in December 1969.
Lokacin da shugaban kasa ya zama murna ya hidi muka tashi tsaye rungume ya ce mun yi rakwat ya ce kaga professor din headmaster mu ya hito shi ya tuna min wannan dama na san shi sai ƙara tuna min ya ce yau gani shugaban kasa kuma ga ka sarki ba abin zamu sai godiya sai addu'a Allah samu aje wannan nauyi da Allah a zamu lafiya.
Sarki Abdul Mumini was not carried away by his princeship to abolish the search for education. He therefore furthered his studies to the famous College of Advanced Studies CAS Zaria between 1972 to 1974. With his successful completion of this program, Mai Martaba Sarki then advanced to yet another step of learning at the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto in 1978. The courageous Emir graduated in 1984 and was meritoriously awarded a Bachelor of Science degree in Sociology. He started a working career as a civil servant with the Sokoto Rima River Basin Development Authority for 1 year before he was appointed and turbaned as Magajin Garin Katsina and District Head of Katsina on 10th December 1982 by his late father, Alhaji Muhammad Kabir Usman.
Right from our childhood, one could remember with Glenn. He was a great man, a great child then, and has been growing into the greatness of today.
Right from childhood, his associates testify that the new Emir Alhaji Abdul Mumin Kabir Usman has distinguished characters that signified his leadership potentials. Those qualities, that is patience, loyalty, respect for elders, love for all, honesty, vanguard of truth and justice and so on, made him to stand distinct among his peers. Within his 25 years office as Megari, as he is popularly called, Abdul Mumin proved himself to be steadfast in fighting for people's rights. He does his best to reconcile and settle people in disputes. The Megaji at that time was known for peacemaking and conflict resolution among religious sects and ethnic groups.
Ni rayuwata tun ina karbi har na zama da nake fada ko cin abinci zani ne in ni kaɗai ne wani cin shi sai na ga mutane na ga huskoki saboda kaga na tashi cikin mutane kuma ina son mutane ina darata mutane.
His simplicity and level-headedness earned him love, respect and confidence of his subjects. Abdul Mumini is a man of the people. He attends weddings, naming fatihas, burial, and works personally to condole, sympathizes or celebrates with people when and where the need arises.
In a number of ways, I think he's begun to exhibit at least the traits that his father, he's really indicating to us that yes, he is the true son of his father. Patience, humility, absolute humility. Even all those qualities that are related with outside the state, once he will come across his humility. He really epitomizes humility.
He was such a nice man, full of foresight, very intelligent and humble, and above all, very patient.
Tun da ya zo ya hakimci na cikin shekarar na 27 babu wanda ya taba kawo karar shi ya ce mashi kaza. Wannan yana daɗaɗa mahayin shi rai, kuna da shi yana gaya mana wannan batu, wannan abu shi kullum yake zo mana rai.
Suna tare da mu 100%. In tun yana mana na ce a yi in na ce bai yanzu har Allah ka shi na sarki saboda yanzu bai iya motsa komai duniya Allah ko wani abu ne sai an kira ni.
The popularity of the Sarki Abdul Mumini in Katsina Emirate may not be unconnected with his ability to unite different religious sects and ethnic groups. He was able to let them understand and resolve their differences for peace and progress of Katsina. The new Emir is selfless and resourceful. He always urges people to assist one another. He freely relates respectfully with people. A straightforward gentleman who finds delight in saying the truth. Fear of Allah, patience and strict adherence to the religion of Allah are among the many virtues may Murtaba learned and lived to maintain from his late father, Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman. Katsina Emirate, since the time of the first Muslim ruler, through the Islamic jihadists to the Sulabawa, witnessed great transformation. However, the transformation becomes evident and more conspicuous during the Sulabawa dynasty, beginning with Muhammad Dikko, who witnessed the coming of the European colonialists. Sir Osman Nagogo then related with the colonialists and saw their departure. Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman, who related with both the military and civilian administration, and now Sarki Abdul Mumin Kabir Usman. The reign of the Sulabawa dynasty recorded tremendous developments in all ramifications. Katsina has faced and is still facing so many challenges. What and how Katsina Emirate will be in the future lies in the contributions leaders and people in the Emirate would make. For the Sulabawa rulers, so far so good. The ball is now in the court of Katsina. Today, even critics of monarchical system may agree that the reign of the Sulabawa has indeed been the driving force to the current socio-economic and political advancement of the present Katsina state and Nigeria as a whole. Visible in the treasury of Katsina's history are facts on their tremendous contributions in the development of Islam, culture, and the general socio-economic growth of the old Katsina province. The reigns of Emirs of Muhammad Dikko, Sir Osman Nagogo, and Dr. Muhammad Kabir Usman had indeed been a lasting legacy for the world to see. For Sarki Abdul Mumin Kabir Usman, the future holds a big promise. the enlargement of his predecessors' good works.
ba don kai ba da gaba kai kohawa da masaki ba ta abokin birni shi garuban katsinawa na garba dare mai ban tsoro na garba ma kai da lamarin tunau harshen nasara wanda da bakon tilas wanda da maganin bayan kaɓa koro da yamma koro na gabar bayan giwa sai balbaje ranar giwa kunyar daji gaban wani karkarar wani muhammadu wajen musulman